It's a special day for you, the US Fan TV viewer, because it's Tuesday and we're actually here. I'm here.
I was going to say it's because it's National Hat Day.
You know, I saw that. I felt like really special too.
I considered wearing a hat just for that.
That's not your deal. That's my deal.
Just in solidarity with you.
Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. But yeah, I saw that and I felt like, yeah, this is kind of my day. It's kind of like St. Patrick's Day is kind of my day. This is kind of my day. So happy National Hat Day, everybody.
I wonder what my day is.
Before we begin talking about soccer, we should tell you who we are. I am Pat. He is Chris.
I am Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Hello.
And I am not Chris.
Hello. Let me do the proper introduction, please.
All right.
From the Minivan Dad Soccer Pod, TJ.
And
TJ,
as I said, I am not Chris.
It's a big day for you too, TJ, because I don't know if you know this, but I officially added your bio to USfanTV.com today under the About Us section.
So you were just bored, is what you're saying.
Just kind of felt bad.
Oh, so, that's all right. I'm good with that.
And you know what? We saw each other this past weekend in Chicago at the United Soccer Coaches Convention at McCormick Place.
Well, you're saying that like we ran. You're saying that like we ran into each other. We drove down there together.
We planned it and went down there. And invited Chris, and he didn't want to come. But it was a nice event. There are other people in this country who like soccer besides us. So don't let anybody tell you that it's not popular here, because it is. I saw many, many thousands of square feet of it this weekend.
Not a whole lot of people there, though. But then again, I wonder how much the weather had to deal with that.
What are you chiming in, Chris, about?
Shouldn't it have been round feet?
Yes, it should have. Yeah, I expected more people, but it was snowing and kind of a pain in the ass to get to in the snow. But that's fine, because we had more room to be harassed by a guy who was really, really intensely selling these things these heat packs. He really, really wanted us to buy them, and he was giving us
you stay warm.
This guy. It's like most of it was pretty cool. Like, the different kinds of vendors, from anything from like balls and goals to like, coaching clinics overseas, to the freaking World Cup was there, because
both of them.
Yeah, the French FA had a stand. US Soccer, which is like 2 blocks away from McCormick Place, did not. But yeah, so they're all there, but then there was this one guy who just really wanted us to buy these heat packs, and he was going to give us. He's like, "Where are you guys from?" We're like, "Oh, we're just from here." That's crazy, because I got a Chicago only special. Come on over here. I don't want the others to hear it. And then he just starts making up. It was just the biggest bullshit. I'm just so annoyed. He just starts making up prices. I'm like, I'm not buying these heat packs. I don't want this. So we had to hard sell for some heat packs.
Don't heat me, bro.
Soccer balls too. The buy one get 2 free or something like that.
That guy wanted to leave bad.
Yeah, he did.
He's selling match balls for like $45. I almost bought one. Wow. The current Champions League one. But
you should have probably, especially if you're getting like 3 for 1.
I was out of cash. I didn't feel like going to get more.
He was cash. That was cash only.
Yeah,
that one wasn't. You
could. Yeah, it was a cool event. I don't know. I mean, if you wanted to just go to the hall, it was like $20, no big deal. But if you wanted to like go through the coaching education things that they had there, it was significantly more money than that. I didn't really feel like doing that all weekend. But I could see where it was a cool event. The day before was the MLS draft. NWSL draft was that day, or the day before that even.
That was the day before.
It was cool that we had this here in town. So I was glad we were able to go.
And we were talking about it there. That was the place last year, as the coaches convention, where they did have the U.S. president U.S. soccer president was done there.
At the coaches convention?
It was in Philadelphia last year. So because Bo Duray was talking about how this year it was better because there wasn't a sign right outside.
From our buddy.
Well, it was you mean Ben Fast, funded by his mom and Jacob Wall.
Financier.
Jacob Wall and Ben Fast.
Same guy.
Yeah, same guy.
Same guy. Speaking of financiers and money, that's a terrible segue. I'm normally better at segues than that. U.S. Soccer, for the first time that I can remember besides the last time I remember U.S. Soccer having anything on the practice jerseys was Phillips, and that was like 05.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah. So Volkswagen signed on to be the presenting sponsor of U.S. Soccer. It is a deal in the 10 figures that runs through 2022, puts them as the second biggest sponsor next to Nike, of course. But the cool thing about this, I'll give you two cool things about it. One, if you have to stick a logo on your shirts, the Volkswagen one is a pretty cool one. I do think it's one of the better corporate logos. And two, they have like real plans for the money that extend beyond, you know, dumb things. There's plans for the men's team and the women's team. There's plans for the Paralympic team. There's plans for coaching education, plans for the developmental academy, lots of different things. And so, assuming they don't screw it up, this is a good get.
Which is a big assumption.
Yeah.
Have they said for sure? Have they said for sure it's going to be actually Volkswagen on the shirt?
It is already, yeah. It's if you look at their practice jerseys.
I assume that was a joke.
No.
Have you not seen these jerseys?
I haven't.
It's huge. It's huge.
I get that, but at the same time, the fact that I could have seen him using the Audi brand on him as well, seeing their Audi's one of the MLS sponsors, and it's the same parent. That was more of what I was getting at. Was would they keep Audi because it's such an MLS sponsor as well? So that was the only reason why I haven't watched Camp Cupcake. Sorry, didn't really feel obligated to watch the videos of Camp Cupcake.
There's some good content coming out.
What makes me laugh is that the logo on the shirts is bigger than I think the largest logo on any of their cars, including like the Atlas, like the biggest one they make. Like
it's big.
Their emblem on the hood is not as big.
Yeah, I do wonder if they're finally going to sell. Are they going to sell that practice gear now that it has a logo on it? I wonder.
I don't know. It would be interesting. There's certainly pieces that I've wanted and
they don't sell.
Unable to get so far. By the way, if anyone else has a line on I thought it was the latest sex jacket, but now they say it's not the sex jacket.
The gray one
that like Bearholder's wearing. Yeah, the gray one in the training video. I've wanted one of those since people started getting them. But every time I'm not fast enough in my calls to do it. So if anyone has a line on one, I'm certainly looking for one.
U.S. Soccer, if you're watching, send them.
I am a fan. I do have all the other sex jackets.
I'll bet you do. Christian, no. It was not that I was, my family was sick. Everybody had this stomach virus, like we're on a cruise ship. Like the last 2 weeks, it was brutal. I was up all night with the 3-year-old, and then the show came up the next night, and I'm like, if I'm on the show, I'm going to be terrible. I'm just going to bed. So that's why I wasn't here last Thursday. I am here.
As opposed to all those other shows when you were just fantastic.
Hey, we were talking
I'm a
about
big part of this. I'll have you know. The people tune in for me.
People love me.
I'm an entertainer, damn it.
I am known. I will say Alex grabbed you and said, "I know you," before anyone said anything to me when we met him. I think that aside from when I was in London, I think that's always been the case. Every time we've run into someone, they've always grabbed you, not me.
I mean,
that's because they're afraid of you, Chris. I mean, realistically. I mean, they look at you and they're expecting you just to start dancing and singing, like, or build a house like Vanilla Ice there.
Alex was at the coaches convention, by the way, but we didn't run into him. His mom was there. His dad wasn't really there because his dad doesn't really exist. His dad only exists to promote Alex's YouTube channel. So he wasn't really. He's a bot, basically. Yeah.
Do his homework.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned. I think you said it's in the 10 figures. Yeah, it's supposed to be 10 million. This VW.
10 figures, whatever. Which means 10 million. 10 million. Because if it was 20 million, you'd say 20 million.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, to support youth growth, support women's coaching opportunities, at least by description, it sounds like this is a positive move. I've heard a lot of talk about like, oh, we have a German sponsor for our American team.
They build a lot of cars here.
We also were that was actually my first thought was do you realize how many cars are built in this country by like
I hate when people...
VW, Toyota, like almost all like Honda, almost all of them build their cars here because it's cheaper than shipping them. It's really it's almost the reverse of kind of the brands themselves. But yeah, I also heard someone talk about how like U.S. auto companies don't seem to recognize American soccer fans still. Like General Motors will sponsor, say, Manchester United. They may do things to specifically appeal to like Mexican Americans or
That's
Hispanic
a good point.
Americans.
Yeah,
But they don't do anything for like, I don't know, the rest of the like non-Hispanic soccer community in the country. I guess, yeah, there's some truth to that. I think that's probably because they focus on football, but I don't know. Like, frankly, I don't know if I like having the giant VW logo on the front. I definitely don't like that look that Manchester United's had with the stupid Chevy logo.
Oh, it looks like NASCAR. Yeah,
I can't stand that.
And honestly, I mean, if you have to have, like I said, if you have to have a corporate sponsor on the front of your practice gear, Volkswagen has a nice, simple, round, somewhat tasteful logo. But it's still, I'd rather it not be there. The stuff looked a lot cooler without it. But you know what? If it makes us better, if it helps us compete, then so be it.
It looks better than Ireland's training stuff.
Yeah. Or, I mean, if they're going to make it where you can't buy a U.S. jersey without having a stupid sponsor on the front, like Ireland, that would be, which I don't think that would be the case. But
so, you know, we have these little things that are like little computers that we carry with us everywhere. Just like to point out the fact that Chevy was a U.S. soccer sponsor. I think their last contract was from 2013 to 2016. So they've been a recent sponsor. I also like to point out,
I don't remember them doing anything though.
I don't remember they did much, but I
think they just did. All I could think of was I think there were like commercials on like in game. There were like commercials up on the boards.
The ad board, and maybe the scrolling ad board, they probably were as well.
Probably.
And I remember them doing that for a long time. But also the other one. So the last time we had a jersey sponsor on the national team practice jersey was Philips.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know what Philips is, right?
Also not a
Dutch electronics company.
Yes. So it's not like
an American brand. Yeah.
Correct.
It's nothing new. It's just people like when I saw that as a complaint, I was like, this is social media. This is soccer Twitter. Like it doesn't. That's such a stupid thing to complain about. Like no. I frankly. I don't like maybe, I don't know, the MLS only wearing, like everyone only wears the same jersey, just in different colors thing. But frankly, whatever, you can call me an apologist. I am a brand loyalist, and Adidas is my brand.
So, and Chris,
my point was going to be, I would take Adidas over Nike in terms of our jersey maker. But like Nike has the money. They should be kicking in enough that they would be our jersey contributor.
The point I was going to make, Chris, is I've known you a long time, and soccer Twitter's kind of like my dad in the sense of if he's not complaining, he's not happy.
And I think the same might be said of you. Let's be honest.
This is rich coming from you, pal.
I think we've covered this topic. What do you have? What is that? Wine? What are you drinking?
Me? No, it's water. I got.
Oh, urine.
Yeah, it's sterile. Drink it because it's sterile. Enjoy the taste.
No one's kidnapped any teenage girls up there lately, have they?
None that I know of. No, I still got this sore throat that I've had for like a month.
It's terrible. That's a really long time to have a sore throat. Have that checked out.
I pretty much have one daily, just year round. It's just
let's do. We could do.
It's really bad.
I'll let you pick, Chris. We could either do Greg Berhalter is off to the races, or we could do Neymar talking about Tim Weah.
I say we go to Berhalter because we need to talk about Camp Cupcake here.
Let us have it.
Not as cupcakey as it has been in the past, but nice to see, I don't know, different things going on. There are competitions amongst the players. They are trying to foster team growth, team cohesion. I think we talked about this last week, that it is, at least so far, it appears, and by what he's saying, Greg Berhalter really wants to build a true team foundation here, which is interesting. I mean, it's a little interesting, or a little odd, I guess, to be doing it with so many players that probably won't be part of the core.
You got to start somewhere.
But yeah, at the same time, there is. I like that, you know, he wants to have some kind of foundation, some kind of I don't know, core goal or core relationship, because we did see a lot of things with the last team that made it look like it was at times either guys who didn't know each other, guys who didn't play well together, or by things that we've heard since, guys who maybe didn't all get along and didn't like each other. And hey, that happens on every professional team. But
that's right, Jeff Cameron.
When we're a team, when we're a team trying to play above our, I don't know, as a sum greater than, or excuse me, as more than the sum of our parts, we do kind of need to have a little something extra there, and maybe, you know, the willingness to fight for each other will be a good thing.
I liked that in one of the snippets that US Soccer released today, he's at the whiteboard talking about how when you play for us, you're going to know what's expected of you, exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and what we believe the other team will be doing as well, which is not necessarily a Bruce issue, but it was definitely a Klinsmann issue. It was the Klinsmann issue, that guys are going out there not clearly understanding what they were supposed to be doing. So if we have that squared away from the beginning, that's a very good thing.
I also like that he's one of his defensive stresses is pressing after losing the ball. I do like the idea that we may be trying harder to immediately win the ball back, not like just dropping off, which probably means then that you're looking at 9, 10, maybe even 11 guys playing defense.
That is something that even at the lowest levels of the coaching courses, they're now stressing too. There's an emphasis on teaching winning the ball back. Losing the ball and winning it back is thought of as part of the cycle now.
So let me see if I get this right. He's prepared. He has a plan. He's implementing the plan. He cares. He's looking at all aspects of the game. It's almost like he was a really strong candidate that nobody liked because he didn't have a big name.
Shut up.
Now you also, I saw this today and I thought it was a pretty valid point.
TJ, if he wasn't going to pat himself on the back.
No, I'm not patting myself on the back, because I did, but it leads me to the point I saw today. It was when you talk about, though, somebody who can speak of what it's like to be a U.S. player going through this cycle and playing in the World Cup. He's the first real modern day one to do it. So I think he has a perspective that the others, you know, Klinsmann went through qualifying, obviously, with Germany, so he would hand it. But Berhalter has that firsthand experience of what it's like to go to Costa Rica, to Honduras, to Guatemala as a player, and that element to it. So I think that will serve as an advantage as they get into some of this stuff.
That's a good point, TJ.
And I'm done for the night. I'm ahead. I'm ahead for the night. I'm done.
You know, there's a guy who will likely figure in Greg Berhalter's plans, who's headed to Celtic. I'm sure you guys talked about that on the show last week when I was in my contract holdout. What was I missing for last week, by the way?
You were missing out because Chris's pod had exceeded yours in number of listeners.
Yeah.
Has it still? I haven't checked.
Yes, it has.
I mean, what is that?
Yes, people. My friends.
Neymar, a player you may have heard of, known for, among other things, diving during the World Cup.
Breaking his back.
Has great things to say about the man he calls Timothy Weah. Says he could be a star. Says that he's a guy who wants to learn in camp. Says that he's going to the right place in Celtic, a team that is a big club that attacks. So and this feels sort of like there's this thing in local news where if a celebrity comes to your town, you ask the celebrity about your town and they say some pandering bullshit to you, and that's the story that they always want you to do. You know, Gallagher loves Champaign, Illinois. This feels kind of like that. We're all very, very excited that a really, really famous guy has things to say about Timothy Weah, but I don't care. We're going to talk about it anyway. I think it's cool that he talked about him. So there's that. This was in ESPN FC, I believe, to give him credit.
Yeah, he said something like he believes he has the talent and the tools to be a top attacking player in Europe. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's Neymar giving a glad hand, but at the same time, hey,
he didn't say who, so he.
What do you mean he didn't say who?
Neymar didn't, like, when asked about Timothy Weah, like, not understand who he was talking about. So you know what? That's a plus. Neymar might be on the way back to Barcelona, according to rumors that may or may not be true.
I wouldn't have left if I was him. I mean, I get why he did it, but I wouldn't have done
it. I feel like he left. The only thing I can think of with Neymar, that sums up Neymar leaving for PSG, is Spaceballs. He didn't do it for the money. We did it for a shit ton of money.
I'm kind of surprised that Real Madrid didn't go harder for him over the summer when it became clear. Like when they knew that Ronaldo was leaving, I was surprised. I fully expected Neymar was going to move there. I mean, all the rumors have been that he was going anyway, and then to see that they were losing kind of their star amongst their stars, I expected, they were going to go hard for Neymar, and it would just be like, here's a blank check, we're buying him.
They are the only fan base that may be worse than Arsenal, as far as the self-loathing anger. But I doubt it. I think it's still us.
You guys have a reason to be self-loathing at this point.
But it actually is a legitimate mess. Sven Mislintat leaving.
Is he gone? Because I've heard rumors that he is. I've heard rumors that it's just a rumor. I've heard. I mean, one of the rumors is he's already quit. Apparently,
Raphael Honigstein says he's gone, like confirmed. Amy Lawrence says he's gone, confirmed. Like those are good reporters. So yes. Yeah. Because apparently, if you're a scout, you want to be able to do your job when you find somebody you want to bring in, and when the owner says, we're not buying anybody, it can be kind of frustrating. So
yeah, and that's one, I think, between this show and the pod, we've beaten.
Go Saints.
We've beaten that one to a pulp about Kroenke and his inability.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that today.
No, let's keep going, because I've spent three weeks in a row on the pod talking about Arsenal, and I'm ready to move on from that.
Do you have thoughts on the inner workings of the Chicago Fire fan base that you want to discuss, TJ, real quick?
Ooh, yeah.
No.
No, that's the pod upcoming. I think.
The Minivan Dad soccer pod, we should say. Austin FC has become a reality, sort of. Like they were announced. They're not like a real team yet. They're going to begin play in 2021 in a privately financed stadium in North Austin, according to the news conference that was today. Are you guys excited about having MLS in Austin? I like Austin.
I like Austin. I wish that I wish that they had found a different team, kind of that they hadn't like, oh, here's all the stuff that we were going to do for that other team we were going to steal, and we just now we'll just get a different team, but we'll just use all the same logos and whatever. Like, I wish they had created something that looked different, because I don't want to hate that team, because I like Austin, and it's not like I have a team that I like.
Alex, that's good.
I don't.
Alex wrote L Tree.
No, that's one of look it up. He's not wrong. Look it up on Twitter. That's in one of their songs. Yes, it is L tree because the logo is a tree. They are L tree. I'm not kidding. He's not wrong on that. It is.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I wanted Alex to have just come up with that right now.
No, he's not that smart. That's been out there.
We'll give it to you, Alex. You can have it.
So of the franchise stealing and returns, which one? This one feels slimier than the Houston San Jose one that was done initially. This one just feels worse, and I think.
Yeah. Well, I think because it happened so quickly, like they, I mean, the league was effectively working as hard as they could to screw Columbus. And when Columbus found a way to get around it, they went, okay, well, here we're just going to greenlight them as a club.
It's absolutely amazing what they did.
It's like you could have just done that all along.
Like, when has that ever happened where a fan base has come together and done that? Like, I'm blown away by Columbus and the Save the Crew people. That's just, it's incredible, and they deserve it. And at some point, I'll go back to hating the Crew, but
I never liked the Crew, but I'm
glad they're around
to like them, sort of.
And
I was always against the Crew, but that's pretty cool.
And I didn't watch the press conference. I will fully admit I have better things to do with my time than that. But apparently they were cheering pre-court, calling him one of their own. This is he's like the carpetbagger of owners.
Yeah.
Like
as bad as Don.
Short of
they're Austin.
Short of Irsay taking the Colts to Indianapolis, or I forget who's the one that took the Ravens to, or the Browns to
Art Modell.
Art Modell, there you go. Thank you.
Sandra wants you to know, everyone, that
Washington Nationals
pointed this out. Leipzig and Dortmund play each other. The Bundesliga is back, which means we're going to have potentially a Tyler Adams Christian Pulisic battle, which would be saucy
for the first time and the last time.
Yes,
perhaps.
Yes, but I just hope Pulisic plays. You know what? It seems like when you see him on TV now or on social media, it seems like he's happier. Pulisic, not that he's leaving, but that it's past. He's done with that. It's out. The cat's out of the bag. It's over. He knows what his future holds. He seems like a weight's been lifted off his shoulders, which is cool. Maybe I'm reading way too much into it, but he seems happy, so I'm happy for him.
Everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy.
Boom.
Everyone's excited.
Boom, happiness.
Tyler Adams, also excited to be playing in the Bundesliga, where all good young Americans should go.
So unless you're a son of a former star of the national team.
Thank you, Chris. I was just going to make that point, and then you go to the Scottish.
It's also different.
Then you go to the Scottish second division. Is that a move up?
No, but it gets him playing time. He's still young, so whatever.
He was in 37 games for DC United last year. He played.
Yeah.
I'm not this one.
I don't know.
It doesn't quite make sense because there's no way I'd call the Scottish Championship better than MLS. Maybe the money's better. I don't know. Some of it may be because he has a Scottish passport. He's looking to just get overseas and see what happens, and maybe he gets a shot.
I've got a random.
If his dad had played longer, maybe he could have just gone to Sheffield Wednesday, like just gone to a different lower level division, but lower level team, but one that probably is still a step above.
Anonymity showing up,
Scottish Championship,
trying to talk to us, telling us what to talk about. When it's something we've already talked about. Who does this guy think he is?
And he's anonymous. Who knows? But I do have a theory. I've got my Chris conspiracy theory for the night with this. With Ian Harkes moving to was it Ross County or whichever one he moved to.
Did we ever actually say his name? We just keep talking around him.
No, it's Ian Harkes. And no, and my question is, because of Brexit, does this move go now so he can maintain a European pass, get anywhere in Europe with it, but whereas after the fact, maybe not?
That shouldn't be affected by Scotland.
Scotland's part of the United Kingdom.
They have to go
too.
too.
They fall into.
Yeah, they all do.
But what I mean is, are they part of Brexit? I don't
know
because they're separate. Okay.
Not by choice. I believe they voted.
They voted over.
Did they?
To remain.
Them in Northern Ireland voted, or them in Northern Ireland voted overwhelmingly.
Northern Ireland is like England English or England's English or something. Like they're like double. Like they paint their sidewalks to look to the colors of the flag. They like put up pictures of the Queen in their house and things.
Yeah, but they voted to remain.
But they voted overwhelmingly to remain. So, and that was my question, is because this all actually happens now, does he make that move now so his passport gets him anywhere in Europe versus just if he goes after the fact, he's stuck in just the UK and treated like an outcast, for lack of a better term?
I don't know.
I have no idea how that's going to work.
But that's my Chris conspiracy.
I will tell you this: if he's anything like his dad, his teammates' girlfriends better watch out.
Somebody had to make the joke.
And I mean, it's boy.
I'm with her, your wife.
That podcast Roger Bennett did about the 1998 World Cup and the build-up to it was pretty awesome. American Fiasco, is that what it was called? It's good.
I don't think I ever listened to it, but
it's good.
That story is nuts.
The podcast gets into great detail about the whole thing. It's even better than you think.
I'll have to go listen to them finally.
Oh, Wayne Rooney was arrested.
Oh my God! How did you guys not touch on that last week?
I don't think we did.
Completely forgot. Yeah.
How Wayne Rooney is that? I feel like it's endearing. I feel like it's going to make people like him more.
I haven't checked. Was he alone in the car this time?
No, I believe what happened is he was on the way back to DC from Dubai, where obviously he probably wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
And so he got it all out on the plane. And so he was drunk, swearing, or both when he landed back in DC. And that's where they nailed him. I don't know if he was yelling or what, but it was a $25 fine. So it couldn't have been that big of a deal. I do wonder, was there a booking photo? Because I haven't seen one. Somebody should FOIA that. Maybe we should FOIA that, because a drunk Wayne Rooney booking photo. How are you not going to get that? So somebody should get after that. Maybe I'll do that.
It does look good in them.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect. It really is. If you're going to get we wondered if, sometimes you don't get the full player experience when the guys come over here. Rooney is giving us the full experience. Spectacular plays, arrests. It's all there.
And hair replacement.
Mm-hmm. They should that Brian Urlacher company should get.
They should
store or whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there is an arrest photo. It is coming over to you guys via phone or via text message.
There is one.
Oh, he looks much better than I expected.
He looks fine. He's a little bit drunk. Let me see if I can do this.
And this is the dynamite cover.
You gotta talk, Pat.
Hello. There he is. I understand how it works. Nice. There it is.
And this is the dynamite analysis everybody has come to expect from USfanTV.
Hard hitting, in depth. Where were we before all this happened? David Wagner.
Oh yeah,
Huddersfield.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's sad to see, but they have 11 points.
Like they are 8 points, I think, from safety. And when you figure that's almost all of what they have for the season, that's not good. But hey, look, he took a team from like crappy championship team to a roughly mid-table Premier League team last year without a ton of, it's not like they made huge investments in that team.
No, it's pretty impressive run.
So yeah, I would expect him to find another job soon. It does make me wonder what would have happened if, say, this was 2 months ago.
Nothing. Not a
Well,
damn
nothing
thing.
probably 2 months ago. What if it was like 6 months ago? Maybe, you know.
It
Still,
probably
I
was still in
still,
place then.
I still think nothing. I think Berhalter was the choice. The second Stewart got the job.
The choice. Yeah, the first choice, the second choice, the third choice.
Pretty much.
It goes
Yeah,
back to that
Sandra,
thumbnail you made.
I
Which
think
Berhalter will it be?
I think he'll go back to Germany and coach there as well. There's I, whatever. There are too many opportunities for him there. Why wouldn't he?
He's a good coach. And he's what? Jurgen Klopp's best friend or one of his best friends?
Something like that.
Yeah. So it's got to be a good guy too. And he played 8 games for us, so he gets to be in this show.
Joe Corona, one of his goals for Club America, was named CONCACAF Goal of the Year. So congratulations to him.
Was it good? I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good. I mean, whenever I see Goal of the Year and it's not like, I don't know, somebody like scorpioning it or like some ridiculous bicycle kick or something, I'm always like, I mean, no, that's that. Like, if you were watching that, you'd be like, holy shit. But
like the Mo Salah Puskas Award one was like,
yeah, it's like, no,
nothing. I mean, it was a good goal, but
I expect better. So I don't want to knock it, but it's also like you'd think that something crazier had happened in a year. Alex Morgan named CONCACAF Player of the Year, so congratulations to her. Big news for the women's team.
Michael Bradley in the CONCACAF Best 11. Now, that's not setting the bar exactly very high. Does that make sense?
He was in the final with Toronto FC.
It's not like he played especially poorly for the U.S. He maybe in the end he wasn't a great captain.
Is this I think this is more of a club award, isn't it? Though.
Correct. Like there is that.
Yeah.
Realistically, most people trash him for his performances with the U.S. But so much of that is based on I don't know, other circumstances that I think he gets blamed for an unfair share of what happened for the U.S.
I agree with that.
I don't have a problem with him in CONCACAF's Best 11. Who's better kind of in that position in CONCACAF?
Well, you could go through all of
defensive box-to-box-ish midfielders in CONCACAF who are good.
And if I recall correctly, now it's going back a year ago, and I'm getting old and I don't remember stuff as well. But that, especially in the final against Chivas, he was
really, really good in that.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what they're basing it off of. That was Now, Alex just pointed out, he did say this week that his best years are still in front of him. I mean, Michael Bradley said that, not Alex. But, I mean, what else do you expect him to say? But no. But he was great in that game.
I've wondered what he meant by that. Does he just mean that I feel like I have better games ahead still? Does he mean, is it kind of a statement on life? Is it, I feel like I have a lot more to offer this game than just me playing on the field? And
yeah, I don't know the context.
Yeah, like I've been meaning to look more go research really what the rest of what he said in that interview, because I feel like that's a quote that could kind of mean anything. And it's one that a lot of people will take as, oh, really? Like, you've been shit for 5 years.
But he is a dude who's incredibly careful with his words.
Yeah.
So you're right. I don't know that that's what he meant. But at the same time, I mean, what do you want him to say? Yeah, I'm washed up. I mean, he's not going to say that. I'm sure he doesn't even believe that. So
shit these days. I pretty much suck now.
Anonymity's just being so hard on me. I don't know if I can take the heckling.
Nope. Hey, Chris,
he's just so hard on me.
So, Chris, next week it's you and I again when Pat decides to go sit in the corner and pout. Go hold his Emmy and rock and play.
I'll be in Florida next week, so I could be. Well, I'll be back. I can do a show.
Florida next week.
Yeah, should be all right.
other interesting things. Jermaine Jones, we should have touched on this while you guys were talking about the soccer convention, says he is nearing completion of his coaching licenses. He's been doing USSFs as well as UEFA's. He wants to try his hand perhaps in MLS. Maybe like more as like an assistant, I think, to start, but
no, just give him a job.
he'll be an assistant, but he'll run out as the head coach.
Now, are there rules for MLS coaches about firearms?
Oh,
I'm just
dun, dun, dun.
I'm just covering the bases. Would you trust him with your academy system around kids right now?
He seems to be doing well with all of his kids.
So his meds. I wonder if they've got him on some new meds or something like that.
I wouldn't trust him with surfers, but or actors who played surfers, but.
Or French dude. Wasn't he French? Yeah, French, yeah.
Well, he is German too, so I mean the French thing might have been before this all. No response. Is this thing on?
I don't have anything left on my list.
Yeah, that was all for me. Next week, I think we got to talk about our thoughts on an 11 for the U.S. Panama on the 27th. God.
Is that coming up already?
Yeah, Saturday. I think it's 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks from this past Saturday, or a Sunday, maybe.
Oh, there you go. There's a yawn for you.
And then 2 weeks from this Friday is Costa Rica. So.
Yeah.
So we've got to pick the best of the worst, or is that kind of what we're looking at?
No. Yeah. Alex wants to see Mihalovic. He's featuring heavily in their social media. Maybe you can read something into that. Maybe you can't.
Hey, I just read into the fact with Mihalovic is I have a German third division team in FIFA 19, and I was able to buy Mihalovic pretty easily. So he's got some room to grow yet.
Only third division? What did you?
It's FIFA 19. If they had
you just wanted to rig it all, like
yeah, pretty much.
Robert wants to know if I've recovered from the Bears loss. That was just, I mean,
it was awesome. Let's face it, right, Chris?
Fuck you.
My feeling is it's a bit like the Spurs. You had one season where things kind of came together for you. Like, let's see if it works 2 or 3 years.
But Chris, we've watched this pattern. About every 5 years, they have a good year, and then they go back to being the Bears. So, I mean, they had their one run, and it's over. I'm good with this now. And yes, Pat, we can keep going on this for a couple hours.
It was very Bearsy how that finished, though.
Yeah, kind of like Spurs on Sunday. Yeah, it was very Spurs.
It wasn't, though, because we have a quarterback who marched us all the way down the field, put us in prime position to make a field goal, which is not something. True. A Bears finish is usually like
very true.
The defense has to score the touchdown.
Pick six to lose the game or something.
Yeah, that's a Bears finish.
Or forgetting to cover the middle of the field as the
yes, that's a Bears finish. This was a very unusual Bears finish. So, but yeah, I guess I'm recovered. Yeah, and I don't know if they're going to go back to being the Bears next year. I think the defense is still going to be pretty solid unless somebody gets hurt. So, yeah, we'll figure it out though. Okay,
you're on Bears Fan TV.
Bears coach. Yeah, this is US Fan TV. We have a website and we have Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. They are all US Fan TV. And we have a YouTube channel, which we are currently speaking on right now. Please subscribe if you have not yet subscribed to the show.
Tell Volkswagen to sponsor us, too.
Yeah, we'll take some of that.
Tens of dollars.
Send the check, Volkswagen. We talked about you at the start of the show.
Yeah, come on.
I'll settle for just a car. I'm good with that.
True. We're not faking emission standards or fuel economy standards here, Volkswagen. Whatever you were doing.
I'll take the faked emission standards car as long as they give me one of the new ones.
You know what? We support you.
I do love Well, now they're R2s. R32s, I think it is. The Golf all-wheel drive used to be the R6. Whatever. I'm drawing a blank on all these things now.
It doesn't matter. Anonymity, you know you were here for me. You're not here for TJ. You're here for me. I know that. We have Snapchat, but it's secret.
Craigslist, you know where to find it.
You don't want it. You don't want to get.
No, you really don't. You don't want to go there.
TJ, from the Minivan Dad Soccer Pod, do you have any final words? And would you like to promote your soccer pod?
I guess we can do a little bit of promotion. You know, the one thing I will say about doing a pod is, especially these last few weeks as I've gotten guests involved, they're a lot more fun to do. I do look forward to doing them a lot more than having to just make up stuff and talk and think people actually give a crap about what I
had some Hootie and the Blowfish.
I did.
As you're open.
Right. If you listen to the guest who is from Talking Jacks, which is Charlotte Independence pod, he's from South Carolina. He's a fan of Greenville, South Carolina. So I figured Hootie and the Blowfish worked pretty well to introduce the show for that week. So a little bit of tongue in cheek with that one. We talked about Arsenal, and hopefully if I get everything lined up, we're going to go back in the Wayback Machine for Chicago Fire fans. Haven't confirmed it yet that I'm going to have them, but it could be a long, deep dive into the Chicago Fire and
everyone's
the dumpster fire.
Sure to love that.
What's that?
Everyone's going to be sure to love that.
No, all tens of people that listen. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, there's a few opinions out there, and I usually run contradictory to all of them. So it could be a good show that way. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. There's the 2 prior weeks. There's one with Pat. There's one with Chris. They were both excellent. I love doing them. So definitely check those out, because I don't want Pat to be hurt anymore. We need to pass Chris up. So if you haven't listened to Pat's, listen to Pat's. If you haven't listened to Chris, listen to Chris's. So is that enough for the mini? And it can be found at Minivan Dad Pod. It is on iTunes. It is on SoundCloud. I haven't figured out Google Play or any of those things yet, because I'm just technologically inept. So
I don't think
there's my plug for the pod.
Technologically inept on the show. Chris, do you have any final words?
No. Thanks, everybody. You're done.
All right. We'll see you when we see you. Adios. What do I say here? You're done.